I think it starts again as soon as you make the change.
Oh, we'll find out. Well, either way, we're live.
Okay.
So let me. Okay, and it looks like things are at the right proportions. Okay. So I think we left ourselves a to-do. Yes, make this beautiful. Which it is not beautiful right now.
And crunch is looping again.
And ink. Okay, I guess we're going to deal with that first then. So let's stop it. So walk me through what's in your head. How do we get InCrunch out of its loop?
So there's a stop button here, but it actually has multiple modes. There's stop pending test, clear queue, and then there's an X, kill all executing tests.
So it's definitely
Anyway.
kill all executing tests.
Oh, so we don't have a choice. The button does different things at different times.
Oh.
And so what I have done in the past is push here repeatedly until it stops cycling.
Okay.
So now we're in that. We've stopped cycling now.
So now the idea is if we start, it will do it, or you're worried if we start, it's going to go back into a loop?
I think if we make any code change, it will go back into a loop.
All right. So any idea on how to stop it from going into a loop?
We don't really know why it's going into a loop, but my guess is that the receive file is seen as a... Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's the only thing that's changing, and that's the thing that triggers it. Is there a way to tell it to ignore certain files?
I don't know.
What do we got under the configurations?
So InCrunch settings are a little strange. There's a mix of general, which is not tied to the solution, and this node is attached to the solution, and then there's per project settings. I don't really know how to find what I want. And then there's also this option here for simplified settings. So maybe if we unsimplify it, we'll find more. I don't know.
Well, let's do a search for ignore. So that's tests to ignore, which is not what we want. Let's do a search for files.
So before we do, I suspect the search is keyed on which node we're in here. So if I search for ignore under general settings, it comes up with nothing. Under test, ignore this component completely. So yeah, the search is filtered.
Filtered.
Even though the search is above.
Can you multiple select? Like, can you hit control select? Now do a search again just to make sure it re-triggers.
No, that is... It's not.
Okay. Well, let's go to general then.
Okay.
Do search for files. No, you have ignore in there still. Oh. Let's do that and just put a star.received.
Yeah, that looks right. I before E.
Except after C.
Look right?
Yeah, I think so.
Star dot and then dot star.
Yep. All right, so now let's start it and see if we're still in the loop.
You said let's start it, but I don't know of a start it. I know a make a edit to a file and see what happens.
It's the same thing.
Okay. The other possibility is this button here.
Is it looping right now?
It looks like it's looping again.
So maybe that receive didn't do what we want. All right. Let's stop it again. So it's what's weird to me is this is sort of a fickle thing. What if we turn off non-Visual Studio?
You want me to quit Visual Studio and reopen it?
Yeah. Because it doesn't always loop, and it sometimes loops, and it doesn't seem to be something we're specifically doing. So, yeah, why not?
feel like it showed up last session or the session before.
Yeah, but not every session. And as a general rule, bugs that come from inconsistently have something to do with state or thread. Could be either.
When I said I think it started in the last couple of sessions, I wonder if it's something that we changed.
Oh,
Like,
no, but last session it wasn't looping, was it?
yeah, it was.
Oh.
At least part of last session. Can't tell if this is still, yeah, it's still warming up.
It's looping right now?
I think, yeah.
We just got a suggestion. So let's try this out. Remove your receive file from the solution. Though
Okay.
I don't think our receive file is in. Oh, okay, yep. So here's how to do it. Go to our actual right click on Sudoku test and say edit project maybe.
Yeah, I got it here.
Yeah. Okay, and then in here under the property group, put a default item exclude.
Don't think this is the right thing.
Yeah, it's one word, default item excludes.
We're talking about like that.
Yeah, star dot receive dot star. Try that.
I interpret this as saying every time that this project is globbing, so any source file becomes part of the project.
Yeah.
And that means that when the receive file gets written, it gets added to the project. And then when the test completes, it gets removed from the project. And that is enough to trigger and crunch to run. And then if we, by making this change that we're saying don't include the receive file. Is that about right?
Yeah, but it's still looping, but save this. Because maybe until you save it, it doesn't actually impact. And then I would even go as far as to say rebuild the project, but let's see what happens just on this.
So I don't know that we did this
I
correctly.
think it stopped building though.
Oh, hey, look at that. Okay, so I'm going to go make a code change here and see what happens. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Seems
nice.
to be working.
All right.
So we don't need any change here.
So wait, hold on. Okay. So copy that one line. Because the minimum improvement you can do to a project is file a bug report. So copy that line, open up approvals in GitHub. /approvals. And then go to .NET, yeah. And do an issue. And open a new issue. And just say, set project to not conflict with InCrunch. And then just add this, and then a line of, this should automatically be added to your project file when you NuGet install. Because that, like, you can do things to a project file when you NuGet install. That is a ability. Of NuGet. So it'd be nice if it just automatically did this line for us. All right, submit. Yeah. Okay. Now let's get on to some code.
Okay. So something I'm noticing is right now your mic is close and I hear it fine, but
Yeah.
sometimes you turn your head and it drops away quite a bit.
Yeah, I have a directional mic. I'll try to keep that more steady.
Thank you.
All right, so yeah, we wanted to take this. So we got our blocks, we got our rows, and then we got our row index. The first thing is that row index and block. Do we need that at all? Where is that being used?
Row index and blocks. I'm not sure what you're.
So there's an index and row, index and column, index and block.
Oh, I see.
Where is that being used? It's just being held onto in the for group. Wait, what?
So index in row is column.
Yeah,
Within this row, how far across this row are you? That's called column.
yeah. So let's rename that.
Column index just that conflicts with
Yeah.
like that maybe.
Yeah, no, that this is undo that. Undo that. Do index and row.
Oh, you know what? We didn't commit our fix.
Oh, thank you.
What is that letter going to be?
E, environment. All right, so scroll down. So the biggest thing here is we're doing this for loop, right? And then we are going through the for loop. So we go through the for loop from 1 to 9 to check, is there anything where it's unique? And then we come down and we do this if. But we do it for all of them, and then we go. So I think we can split this into 4 or 3 for loops.
Mhm.
So let's try that.
Are you thinking like a refactoring coloring book
I'm.
duplication?
It's not a duplication coloring book because I think what we're about to do increase the font size. Yeah, can you make the font size go from like maybe 100% to like 100 and yeah. Although if we jump around, we'll have to redo that. So maybe put it back to 100 and let's actually just increase the font size.
Wait, what's wrong? Why is
just so it's easier to read.
No, so I just zoomed in. Why is that not the thing?
Oh, as soon as you open the second window, the zoom will reset. And then we'll have to remember to do that. Oh, it's not. Zoom. Okay, then I guess that's not a problem. Okay, maybe they changed that behavior. That's cool. Okay, so so here we are. So what I want to do is take that whole for loop, copy it.
This one?
Yeah.
Because we're also inside a for loop.
Yep.
So you want 2 copies of this, or 3 total?
I want 3 copies of these. But let's start with 1 to check my assumption. So just copy this whole for loop. Go down to right before the... Oh, wait. Did you paste it yet? No.
Yeah.
Don't paste it yet. Undo
okay.
it. Scroll down to... So copy that plus... Wait, hold on. Hey, well, just copy that. Scroll down to right before block count. Paste it in there.
Here?
Yeah.
Above this?
So 99. This is going to break stuff, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think it will if we scroll up, and grab block count number 0, line 57, and move that down.
You want to delete this, right?
I actually don't care about that right now.
Okay.
And well, I was going to duplicate it. So when you moved it. So I guess if we move it, we have to delete it. Yeah. Delete 77.
Delete 77. Okay.
Okay. And I think that should be a valid refactoring. Good.
All right.
Okay.
I'm surprised we didn't need to remove these entries, but I guess
No, those are now dead, but we don't need to remove them.
Okay.
So let's do commit here, and then we'll remove them.
Yeah. That feels weird to me, but okay. What are we calling this?
Split loop.
We're now thought leaders because we're inventing new refactoring names. High five.
High five. I don't think this is a new refactoring though.
I agree.
But why are you giving us more credit?
Name.
98 through 108. You can delete that. Okay. So, and then what I want to do is extract 94 through 112, but I believe when we do it, it will look icky. So let's do that.
I enjoyed that. I think this will look bad. Let's do it. So there's not a way in C# to, given a collection, yield every element of the collection without doing what you see here.
Okay.
It's a missing feature in the language.
Yeah, that's fine. But it's still icky, so undo it.
Okay.
If we go up, what are the things that we're missing here? So scroll up more. So the block, I think we can move that down 61. So let's move line 61 down.
Yeah. Okay. Like it doesn't really need to exist as a variable. We can go right there though.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, I say that, but it looks frozen. Oh, no, there it goes. It was just being slow.
And
we
now,
could have inlined it.
Can we grab lines? Oh, interesting. Okay, so now let's go back and do this same pattern and the other two. So grab that 4 block. Well, first of all, let's... Sorry. Okay, so let's grab the row and column on line 59 and 60 and move that into right before where they need to exist. Yeah. Move closer.
Move statements closer.
It failed.
Oops. Who let me check in that way? I wish there was like an undo last commit whoops button here. Let me just back
Isn't
up.
there? There definitely is in yeah.
There's this, but
yeah.
I just want a whoops. There's a revert last commit, like make a new commit that's the opposite of the last one. We don't need that noise in our commit history.
Yeah, fair enough. Not that our commit history doesn't have enough noise anyways. Okay. So let's do one at a time. Let's start with row. Why does moving row there change anything? So grab 59, pop it up there.
59.
Or that one.
I missed it.
Yeah, it's okay, really not what you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to try to move this one now or commit?
Oh, I know why it's doing that. Go to columns for a second. Where is columns at? Do at the end of all of these, do a dot to array.
To list?
Sure. I think we do yield returns on all of these, so if you do an element out, it has to recalculate.
You put that there. God, did it again. There's something about whole line
Wait, hold on. You did
there.
the to list.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and you're moving this. You're doing both of them. All right, either way, fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. Commit. We should have done a smaller step, though.
We're halfway through one. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Next life, we'll get better at refactoring.
Okay. Yes. Eventually. Okay, so now I want to clone that for loop and put it in between the other if.
Duplicate this or delete this chunk.
Well, sure.
And that's what gets us to green.
Or just resetting the index would get us to green.
That's what we did last time.
But let's move the index closer down.
Index closer down.
So what we're the whole point of this for loop that's occurring on 79 is to set index in row, right? To count row number count. So that's column number count. Column number count being 0 has to be reset right before you go into the for loop.
Okay.
So let's do that.
So do you want me to commit what I just did?
Sure.
Okay.
So that just
index in call can move down.
Yeah, move down to right before that for loop.
Let's go right here.
Yeah. Okay. And now we can get rid of the first part of this, the 83 through 88. And now I want to do duplication coloring book.
Okay.
But it's still, things are messier than they should be. Scroll up. So we got a row number count. Yeah, that's happening here.
We can move this down.
Index let's move that down. And the column number count we should be able to move down.
So are you thinking this is a chunk to extract?
Actually, I don't want to extract that quite yet. Because what we do is we do this. We go from 0 to 9, and then we do, if it's here, we do a yield return. And I actually want to I want to create that tuple, and then do a yield return one more underneath it. So yeah, pull that out as a variable. And actually I want to define that result above on line 52. So unvar that for a second.
You want me to separate the
I want to
assignment?
separate them, yeah. Perfect. And I want you to move 73 all the way up to 53. And then I want you to put one more if statement down on 78. Actually, we can do this nicer. Let's do it straight on 75. And this here, just say if, new line, if result is not equal to null, then yield it. And now we can move that outside of the if statement.
Like that?
Yep, why is it complaining about result? Set it equal to null on 53. And now all the way to the tuple. I think you can do that. Yep, but that is not what I want. So cell group, we want cell group. We want puzzle. Where's mask? Oh,
mask is right here.
Yeah, I mean, so
based on digit.
We're gonna. Oh, is it based on digit?
Yeah, but digit's already being passed in.
Yeah, so let's inline that part.
All right, so you want to bring. And where is mask used? There. So we could duplicate there, cut that and paste it here.
Yeah.
And here. Oops.
Yeah, so we're not yet doing duplication coloring book. Do you want to do duplication coloring book or do you want to do it just sloppy? I'm okay either way. Let's try it sloppy. If it doesn't work, we'll come back and do duplication coloring book. Actually, let's do duplication coloring book just so people can see it, because they might not have seen duplication coloring book.
Okay.
So what I think we have right now is from 52 to 56 or 76 is our duplication. And what I want to do is put that into curly braces. And I think if we do, it's going to break something. So let's do that. Good. What does it?
Sorry,
you need to leave the results out. I still think it's going to break something, but not breaking anything?
Nope.
Good. Okay. Now let's go and do sort of the same thing for the other one, but we have to do a similar thing with our tuple. So again, actually, yeah, and now put duplication, put curly braces around 52 to 82. Oh man, ugly code, but all right. Now we're going to do sort of the same thing. We're going to make 3 blocks that look exactly like this. And there's a couple different ways we could do that. But let's see if we can just go straight, copy this, paste it one more time.
Copy.
Yeah, like this might be too big of a step. But copy this, scroll down, take that second block, which is happening from 80, yeah, paste it in here. Over that. I want to replace it, yeah. And now, but it's going to break stuff. So you have to change basically everything that says row to column.
Ugh, okay.
Oh, no. Sorry. Only do this on line 97 and 109.
You sure you don't?
Just try it for a second.
Okay.
And if it doesn't work, we'll go back and do it properly. So on line 97, change the word rows here to column. And
I know where you're going, and I think I don't like it.
go down to 109 and change the word row to column. I think that will pass. That does not look like it's passing.
If these are not correctly organized.
All right, so then undo it.
Well, I think you can do it if you
Just flip these two.
swap those.
We can.
Ugh,
That is.
you're a bad, bad person. Oh, and you pulled me down with you.
Okay, but so let's commit that.
Okay. Yes, boss. What is that? Replace. Is it substitute algorithm?
Yeah, it substitute algorithm. Okay, let's see the other one then as an actual refactoring. So let's go back to, or go down to the third one. Put curlies around the whole thing. Start there. All right. So this is just drawing our boxes. Then let's add the tuple and, well, so we're going to do the same refactoring here. So extract that tuple as a variable. Result. Yeah, split it.
Oh, hold on a second. What was there's another option there that I hadn't seen before. Split initialization, move variable declaration data scope. Yes.
Nice.
That's what we want.
And set it equal to null in the outer scope. No, it just equals null. There's not a, no. Just set it equal to null. All right, and then now we need it even to be a higher scope. Yeah. So pull it up to the very top.
To there?
Okay. Yeah. Although now I need you to block out 122 on down again. Do you need to block it out anymore? No, you don't need to. Okay, so now put in the if statement before the yield return.
We could just
sure. You want to do it in one state?
No.
Okay.
Read. Cool.
And okay, so the thing here is we have to deal with this block row. Like this whole thing is wrong, right? Because at some point it should give us a cell. Oh, it does. It gives us an index and group.
So remember, a group is an abstraction over the notion of a row, a column, or a block.
Yeah. And so we should, if we look down here, because here we have cell group. What's cell group? What is cell group? I actually don't see where cell group is.
Where is it being used?
On 138. Where's that being defined? Element at cell group. All right, so if we go back down here, what I think we can refactor, and this is the thing that I think is super important, is in 143 where it says block row times 3, index and block divided by 3, I think we can change that to just be block dot
block is not a thing.
Move line 127 outside of the for group. Now block's a thing.
Okay.
To refactor that. And then change that first thing to be block. And then you can square brackets. You're airing on the side that we want commented code in this. And then we have an undo, man.
I just want to see it while we're typing.
Okay.
Once we're finished typing this.
Index and group. Index and block. Dot. Well, why does that dot not work?
So index in block
maybe
is int block. Oh, we want element out.
Sure. But I thought we had a list.
Block is not a list.
Go up to it. Why is block not a list? Oh.
Because it comes from there. So we had blocks. Blocks is a list, but block is not.
Do a dot list on this one. To list. Because again, you run into the yields of yields.
You won't hear because blocks has already been to listed way up above.
Yeah.
It's been realized. I don't know what the word is.
Okay. But anyway, do this, and here it's the row. Yeah, row.
Okay.
And that should work. And this, I think, is a really important refactoring. So delete that. Yeah. Delete that part. And then copy that and paste it here with a column. And then, yeah. Okay, so now copy that block right there. The block. So we're going to do the same thing on the upper parts. My point is like now first of all, now 38 and 39, we should, you're going to have to do the same thing in, how is, no, we want to get it out. So the question is, which block are we in? So here it says block row +1, block column +1, which I don't understand. So if we scroll up and we say row column, scroll up. So here it's row number, and that should just be row, right? Like that. Oh man. So like these things look different is what I'm trying to say. Like these if statements look different, right? When they look different in two different ways. One is row describes itself differently. From a cell group, it just says, give me the cell group +1. And then column describes itself the same way. Give me the cell group +1. And then when we scroll down, block does not say, give me the cell group +1. It says, give me the block, and then it splits itself out of the cell group. So let's inline block row and block column. Okay. Oh, okay. And what we're about to do is going to be super weird and icky, but we're totally going to do it. So if I was to draw the coloring book, right, now description is the thing that is different. And it's different not just in a variable way. It's different in a functional way. So we have to lambdatize it. So on line 38, in front of the block, I want you to, no, just in front of it. No.
Check if there's a new way to do that.
All right. Extract the method as a local method is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. So if we did that, so maybe we don't want to think about this right now.
It's easier to just lambdatize it.
Okay, that's fine.
Just in front of it, put a parentheses cell group, or just C.
One way to do it might be easy is, oh God, that didn't work at all. Okay, not so easy.
That's fine.
I'll do
Just
what you
in
tell me,
front.
boss.
There you go. Thanks. C goes to. And then change cell groups in both of these places to C. And then put parentheses around that whole thing. And then put parentheses at the end of it and call it list cell group.
In many languages, that would go just fine. All right.
No. So the problem is you have to probably declare this as a func. So, no, not here. The lambda itself. So go right
This will do it. You can write it in either location. Oh no, you're right.
So right here you have to do func of cell group. Is cell group a integer? It is. Okay. And then yes. There you go.
That's way too much work. Computers, do this for me.
Okay, but now that you've done that, extract that lambda to its own variable.
Yeah. So I want to call it that refactoring is extract immediately executed lambda. And
there's an actual name for this, by the way, the refactoring. I remember learning about it in the hexagonal architecture refactoring thing from, I'm blanking on the guy's name. I want to say Jim Weir, but that's not right.
Yeah. So Jim Weirick did talk about that operation a lot. So it's based on Tennant's correspondence principle, which I
it's Y Combinator.
Oh, I don't know that. But I believe you.
But okay, anyhow, the name is not that important. The point is here is we've lambdatized it. And then move that all the way up to the tuple on 121. Actually, yeah.
It's a really important refactoring.
And now we move it up to 121. Okay, now we're going to do sort of the same. Well, so the first part we're going to do, just copy literally that new cell, tuple.create new cell, 141. And we can do that same thing here, where we don't need the index and row cell group. We can just use the block of the index and row column on 110.
You want another lambda?
No.
Okay,
I don't.
You said the same thing.
I want to go up to line 110. And there where you say index and row, I want that to be block of index and row dot row. Yeah, I want that up there.
We
have to move block out.
Block come from? I'm not seeing it.
Block is row here. So change that block to row. Yeah. Or change that to block. That works too. Paste it there and do a dot list on here.
This becomes index
in row.
And
it's index and row.
Okay.
There we go.
What is that refactoring? It's kind of a lot.
Yeah, it's make the top look like the bottom. Or it's here specifically, it's use the block instead of being aware of what you are. But we want to do the same thing with the description here. So what I would do here is it in less granular things. I would just up at the tuple on 87, say funct of int string description whatever getter equals boom, yeah, C goes to, and then copy that part down here. It just seems easier, and change cell group to C. On line 88. Yeah. Okay, so now we have a very, very consistent thing. And the only thing that's really different between this and that and the thing underneath us is columns. So also, can you let's extract on line 92 columns. No, not the block. Yeah, just columns. Just that one. Extract that to a variable. Group, and then move that up outside of up where we have the function. Yeah. And that's our duplication. So now grab 91 to there and pull that out as a method. No. Yes, maybe. Go to applesauce. What does applesauce return null? No. Yeah, so undo this. Move tuple down 87 underneath those groups. Yeah. And now grab 90 to 114 and extract that as a method.
Sure. Puzzle digit group. So what's up with cell group? Do we need that?
I think we do need that.
Description. Okay. You feel like this is the...
It looks sort of right. So the puzzle... Yeah, we are checking... We'll go check cell group and group. I think we use both of them. I think we need both of them. So group, we definitely need. Cell group is the one that's weird a little bit, but go check how we use cell group.
We use it as an index into group and parameter to description. So it looks like we need it.
So we need it, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so now let's go back. Have we done a commit?
No, I was going to give this a little bit better name.
A better name would be get unique, or it's get if only one choice is possible from group. That's not a great name, but we're moving in the right direction. Yeah, there we go. And then inline everything you can here. So inline get description and inline group. There we go. Okay, so now basically we're going to do a replacement on the top. So clone these 4 lines.
Really just this. Right, because that's already there.
No, you need it. You need it, and you need all 3. Yeah, clone that above to replace. Which one are you doing? You did the very first one. So okay, so now the puzzle is the same, the digits the same, the columns is going to become the rows, and the description is going to be rows. Yeah.
Okay. And you think we don't need anything else from here? This will work now.
Yes. There we are. Good.
Do you think it'll work again here?
It will, but we have to be a little bit careful. Keep that lambda that we want. So paste that in there.
I can replace all of that.
Delete the line right above it. Instead of columns, it's going to be blocks, I think. What do we call those? Yeah, blocks. And we have to now use that. Yeah, it's a little, yeah, there we go. Okay, much nicer. Now we got a lot of cleanup. So get rid of all those extra ickies, curlies.
That won't work. So there's some, the same variables are used. So
yeah, so just a split result right now.
Not like that. Not like that either. Just split. You want me to do that for all three?
Yeah. Well, no, just move tuple up. Or oh yeah, sure. Split the result. Split the result. Delete all the curly braces. Flatten this. So delete the results there. Delete the results here and get rid of that. Delete the results there and get rid of that. Yeah. And we no longer need that comment for cell group 0 through 8 since that is much more obvious now.
So you want to get rid of? You said that comment. I don't know. Oh, that one.
Yeah.
I think we can get rid of that comment too. We're doing it.
Yep. Oh, this is interesting. So now, like I almost want to inline rows, columns, and blocks. But I'm not sure that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, it mutates, right? Didn't we notice? Like that's why the two lists are necessary?
No, the two lists are just a performance thing. So it doesn't have to recalculate it each time. But there's this other thing that, so like I don't like this if yield results, right? What I really kind of want to do here is, let's make an IEnumerable. Let's make a list at the top of this.
Here?
No, not there. At like line 44.
Of this type?
Yeah. No, it's a list of this. Yeah. Okay. And then
So
here, I just want to results.append it everywhere. So no yield return at all. So on 51.
I think there's a refactoring for this.
That'd be cool. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Thanks for Sharper.
Thanks for Sharper. That's awesome. Okay, and then I just want to add it regardless. So no results equals null in results here. Just results.add.
So, and then remove nulls.
Exactly, at the very end. Actually, if you want to do this really nice and clean, just at the very end, do results dot where.
I want there to be an except null.
There's
Right?
not.
That's
Just where r is not, yeah, whatever. Use your underscores. Not equal to null. I don't like the underscore. Use an r.
the R as a result.
R is the result. Yeah, where the result is not null. Okay, so that works. We can commit that. And then we can get rid of these if blocks on each of these.
Yeah, I wouldn't commit that by itself, but
That's a totally valid commit.
yeah, I still wouldn't do it. I would do that plus that.
Sure. You like bigger commits.
I don't like adding code that isn't necessary yet. So I like it to be justified somehow.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's remove all these braces and let's inline them. So now, can we inline? I'm not sure. You might have to manually inline these.
Yeah, I hope so. No.
Yeah.
What happens if I
So that's not the problem. The problem is, I mean, you can do this if you go down to the bottom one, 58, and manually separate it. So put a var in front of it and put a result 2.
That's not any better.
It is. It is. Try it for a second. Result 2, and then inline.
Not better.
Not better? Are you sure? Yeah, okay. Either way, inline all the other ones. Might be a little better. You did it again.
I did it because I'm the typist.
Okay. That one you can just join and...
You're right.
It doesn't matter. Just inline it. However you want to inline it. There we go. Okay. So now this is like a fairly reasonable piece of code, right? We go through, we get it for... I still wish it was cleaner. Like the name is just too big.
Yeah.
And the description is not, I don't know, there's something, but it's good enough, right? Mm-hmm. This is a fairly clean.
Yeah, there are ways to reduce duplication further, but given our purposes here, it's just fine.
Okay, and then there's no reason to do what I'm about to do, but I'm going to do it anyways because it bothers me. So I'm just blaming OCD on this. So go down to our get if only one choice is possible from group. And this is, so we have the group, we have the cell group. It's, and we have the description. The cell group is the wrong word. Mm-hmm. The cell group is really, it's index and group, right? Oh, but no. Yeah. So what is cell group?
It's a cell group index.
It's cell group index. Yeah. So let's.
Or group index.
It's the group index. Thank you. Okay, and then row number count is really. This is digit count. It's possible digit count. And then index and row, this is just group index. Group index that matched. Or it's last matching group index. And then block is block. So, okay, and now I think we've removed the concept of any of the other things out of our, like this is now agnostic. And then I would do early return here.
Right here.
Yeah.
Or actually,
There's a
I
refactoring
want
for
it a
that.
little bit away. I want
Oh no, I don't.
that.
I like that less.
Because this is gonna be, all
Do
right.
it the other way. If it's 1, return this.
Let me get back to where we started. We got changes apparently. All right. So you're saying you want
I think
to
there's
early
actually a
return.
refactoring on result. I think you can click on the return here and move closer to. Click on the return itself. Oh no, that's horrible. Undo that.
It'll get better with the next.
The next one.
Yeah.
Can you now? Oh, okay. So now inline result. And then, do we want the else? I don't want the else.
You know what I want to do, but we're doing this instead.
Wait, what do you want to do?
I want to invert the if.
Oh no. Just remove the else.
Okay.
But inline description. That also doesn't need it. All right. So now this is all pulled out and it's very nice and tidy. We still have this mask and the mask is now really contained. But I so want to be able to ask line 71. I just want to say, right, because like 71, 73, and 74, all of these together are trying. So extract that if as a variable. And this is digit possible. Would be the B is digit possible.
Oh, okay.
And now 71 through 74, that's the method that says, is the digit possible at, oh wait, hold on. So, no, so it's going to extract this not like I want. Extract, undo. Take block element at in group and pull that out as a variable.
Okay. Another way to do it is to extract and then introduce parameter. Yeah, this is probably better.
Yeah, cell. And then move that up to there, yeah.
Or is there something else that you wanted to pull out of here?
Nope. And I think now if we extract it, it will say, is digit possible? No, pass it a cell and a mask and a puzzle.
Does that look like the right?
It's close enough. And then can we move this onto puzzle?
Make method not static. Puzzle.
Yeah. That is what I want. That is mask completely hidden away. Now, it's still doing all the icky bit stuff. But this is exactly what we want to be able to ask the puzzle. Right?
Yeah.
We want to be, and now it's hidden away. We can clean it up if we want to, or we can just ignore it if we want to. We should be able to ask the puzzle, is a digit possible at this cell?
Okay, so a couple of questions. Should we inline this variable?
Oh, yeah.
And this variable?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I have one more question after that's in. So if we go look at is digit possible, and it's got.
And the next question is, should we linkify that thing with just a count?
I'm wondering whether we can. You said we're hiding this masks away. Can we make stuff private now? Can this become private?
No, not yet.
Okay.
because other things use the mask. We're not the only thing using the mask.
Okay. So when you
But
said
we
masks
can
are
now
hidden away.
go to the other places where the mask is being used and get rid of that. And we can do this other thing too. I don't know if we need to. This is pretty straightforward. So it's not really worth. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So this is clean enough, and there's no reason to make it better. All right. I think this is a good place to retro, although very much the thing I want to do next time is clean up that mask.
Where?
So where is this thing called that we're in?
This thing? It's called here. You're talking about where this is called?
We're in a class right now, right?
Yeah.
Scroll up. We're in a strategy. Yeah. So find out where this Sudoku step solver is called. So probably we're gonna be looking at it on the other three things here. I remember the first one is kind of cleanish.
Not the worst.
Yeah. So let's go to the one underneath it. That's not cleanish. This now is the one to clean up next time. So let's put our to-do here.
Okay. So right here. Okay.
Yeah. All right. And then I want to go through retro, but before we even go through our normal retro, I'd like to retro just a little bit what we did on the coloring book, because that was less methodical and a little more chaotic. But there's actually like a script that I'm following there, and I'm just cheating a lot, I think, in this demo. So let's go through coloring book for a second. Can we open up Chrome and actually go to the coloring book? Actually, the easiest way to do this is go to github/Isidore/talks. It's an I on both places, yeah.
Wish there was something easy to spell like Llewellyn.
Yeah. And then click on duplication coloring book. Okay.
You know that I don't use my legal name, right? Like, because it's hard for people.
Are you not actually Jay? Is that not your legal name?
Jarius.
JS.
Jarius.
Jarius. Oh, weird.
Yeah. So
I never knew.
Easy.
I'm discovering all new things about you.
My family actually argues about how to spell it in English. It's kind of fun.
All right. So okay, so go to coloring book there. And if we scroll down, so first of all, like, this is an exercise. It actually works really well in Zoom, or just draw on the screen. But I originally did it just on paper, right? Where you would just print these out, and you would just take your markers and you would do these things. So what you first do is you draw a box. Actually, scroll up a little bit, and we'll come back down there. So we have this animated GIF. It's going to have to loop. So there we go. So we have the code. We draw boxes around the duplication. So that's when we put our curly braces around those three things. Right. Then you fill in the white space. That's just to help you see the duplication. And then we take everything that's different and we try to make it the same. We skipped a little bit of this, right? So what we did is we took the things that were different and got them encapsulated, right? So we had a place where we were calculating what our indexes were. We refactored those so that it was taking it from the cell group. So they're now the same. We also had the thing where we had the descriptor that we encapsulated, like we put that into a thing we could extract as a variable. The thing is, because it is calculation, you have to first encapsulate it in a lambda, and then you can extract the lambda as a variable. right? But so now let's go back and look at the thing. So here we find everything that's different, and then you color it over, and that tells you how many variables you have to extract. So in this particular place, if you extracted light green, teal, purple, and red as variables, you would now have identical code, and then you can just extract the method, which is effectively what we did. There was a lot of renaming that had to happen that we sort of cheated and just copied and pasted when we're like, yeah, no, it's the same now, rather than renaming everything so it's the same. We're just going to do that. And then we did the rename as a step afterwards. If we had done that ahead of time, we wouldn't have had that problem.
I just noticed something about this coloring book that has been confusing, but I haven't figured out why until today. So the orange here and the orange here are the same, right? They're the same shape of white space.
Yeah.
It happens to be true here. The like the purple highlight here and the purple highlight here are not the same, even though they are the same color. So we apply the same color in both places to indicate things that are different. And that's a little bit strange. I mean, I understand why you do it, but the idea that you would mark with the same color the things that are different.
Right, but it's the same, like we're using different colors, right? So the point here is these two purple things belong together. Mm-hmm. And the green things, like the light green things, belong together, right? And so we're marking the differences, but we're grouping them. We're saying if this was green instead of what the text underneath it was, then now it will be the same. Yeah. I think of it as like selective censoring almost, right? Like we put these censor boxes underneath and now it's identical.
Yeah. You know, the name is duplication coloring book, but we're not coloring the duplication, we're coloring the differences.
So that now we have pure duplication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit different. I mean, you talk about partial diff around this.
Yeah,
and one way I've done this in the past is partial diff, see differences, refactor to eliminate differences, and continue to partial diff until there are no differences.
Totally agree. If we did not have tests protecting us, we would be doing that. Right? Here, when we copied and pasted that, we knew it worked because the test is telling us. But if we don't have those tests, partial diff can tell us. Like it can tell us, this text is exactly the same as that text. Feel free to remove it.
Yep.
I feel like the fact that we have such good test coverage on this is why we are being sloppy. But I'm also grateful for that. I'm grateful that I can be sloppy.
It sure lets me relax. I like go faster.
Relax and go faster. There's a saying like the best way to go fast is to go well. Right? And for me that really hit home when I went to India. Right? Because driving in India is a terrifying experience. Right? Like something I am utterly unqualified to do myself. But I mean, I'm qualified enough to sit in a car while someone else drives. But it's still terrifying. And because it's so terrifying, they will do this thing that I'd never seen before where they will put roadblocks and speed bumps on a highway to make sure that you're not going faster than like 25 miles an hour on a highway. And the reason for that is the way that they drive is so dangerous that if you're going like 70 miles an hour, like you would just have like just a mass amount of death. And so they are purposely slowing you down to keep you safe. And I've seen companies do stuff like this where they like, everything's going to go through, stored procedures in the database. Why? Because it's safer. Why is it safer? Because almost nothing happens, right? Like things move so slowly when you put that bottleneck in place that it's hard for a mistake to slip in because almost nothing is slipping in, period. Once like a lot of the roads in the United States, like driving in the United States is one of the easiest places to drive, right? Our roads are huge. We have bumps on the road that tell you if you're falling asleep. Like, I mean, it's really easy with highways everywhere. Like it's really easy to drive fast and still be safe because so much of the infrastructure makes things so safe, right? And as we're starting to see, like, you know, a lot of things show up in terms of like self-driving. Like the interesting thing about self-driving is it's been a whole bunch of very nice refactorings, like culturally, right? But it's been like just, well, let's slow down if there's a car in front of you, and then it was like, and then we'll speed up also if there's a car in front of you, and then like we'll detect if there's a car to the side of you, and we won't let you automatically change, and then we'll change, but only if you tell us that it's okay to change, and then okay, well now we can change on our side. So it's these really nice small. Cruise control has just gotten better. And all of this goes to like things are just getting safer, and that means that we can just go faster. So anyhow, the point I'm trying to get to here is, as you have this extra level of safety, you can effectively be more reckless and move faster, and you're still within this envelope of safety, right? And I like being able to do that and take advantage of that, even though I'm acknowledging that we are moving faster and sloppier. But this is what duplication coloring book is. If we go back to the which one am I looking for here? Somehow I'm out of full screen. Here. If you go to this page, it will take you to the links. It will take you to the Sparrow decks to help you see it better. The coloring book exercises, so you can actually like do them and get that into your muscle memory. And then the exercises in these 5 languages, if you want to actually try them out, and videos to see me trying them out. So anyhow, all of this being the case of, if this is interesting to you, here's resources to go try it out. Should we do proper retro?
Sure.
All right. Okay, so tools.
Oops.
Yeah, you want tab. Tools, language, domain, team, emotions. Okay, so first the tool in Crunch. So it was nice to figure out how to stop the looping. Thank you, Claire, for sending me that note. Domain, we now have an encapsulated mask for the first time. I mean, the weird thing is we did all our work today was not about masks. But when we were finally done, to me, the big win of what we did today was that encapsulated mask.
It's easier to refactor clean code.
I love that. Just say that. Put that somewhere. Patterns, I guess. That will be tweeted later. Yeah. And we did a lot today that was... So we did a split... so another pattern we did today was a split loop. And I use this quite a lot when I'm trying to pull out functional code from a loop, right? So what it really is it's a for a whole bunch of stuff. It's for ABC goes to for A, for B, for C.
This is gonna be hard to type here.
think if you hit Shift Enter, you can make a new line. Yeah. Exactly. And very often in between here, you need some sort of holder, right? So when you're doing this into functional, you need a sort of like for A, and then you need A's, right? And then the next one will be for A's, do B's. And then for B, that calculates your B's, and then for your B's, do your C's, right? But there, in this particular case, it was already the case that they had combined, that they had those holders. So that's where we moved those down. But anyhow, we did a split loop, and that's what allowed us to like clean this up and get that. Like, I feel like the first step, so also on a pattern, is the first thing we did is we exposed a whole bunch of duplication so that we could then remove that duplication. Like, that duplication was there in the first part, but it was really, really hidden, right? And the way that I usually think of that is inconsistency, right? So we took inconsistency and we moved it to duplication. And so anyhow, it's just like a weird thing. But that is what we did. Almost the first half of today was introducing duplication and removing inconsistency. And then the second part of today was removing duplication.
Is the first part about turning redundancy into duplication?
Was it redundant? It wasn't redundant. It was just inconsistent.
It wasn't duplicate because it was inconsistent.
It wasn't duplicate because it was inconsistent. So we had to
made it
expose.
consistent.
Yeah. So I think first step was inconsistent to duplication. And then the second one is duplication to removing duplication.
I think it's
No, but it's not the
inconsistent
split loop. The split loop is a different technique. Why do you use the word redundant? It's inconsistent. Why do you say redundancy, though?
Because the same idea was written multiple times. It just wasn't clear because it was inconsistent.
Yeah. Okay, so
we
then we have
duplication.
into duplication. And then we take that duplication and then, yeah.
Maybe I need to write it.
Interesting. So you're like to duplication to, yeah. So fold, I think what you're thinking is that stretch and fold, right? So the first one is we stretch the code out and then we folded it back in. There's this thing that is occurring in these sessions. They're just so different than our first sessions, right? Like, I know we're like 10 sessions in, which is what, like a day and a half? But I feel like we're now fluent in this code, sort of. Whereas before we were just utterly unfluent. But
I think that the metaphors of this code we're familiar with them.
Yes, that is a great way of saying it. Let's just put that either on patterns or domain. I think it's under domain. Like, we are now familiar with the metaphors of the code. Oh, that's very interesting. Can you go back to the solution and show me what the classes are called now? Like, now I want to look at the UML. Okay, so we have candidates, we have cells, we have changes that were made, we have check for multiple solutions, we have a Sudoku solver step, we have a lookup structure, We have, I still don't know what lookup structure. That domain is not quite good
Still
for me.
dumb. It's not. It shouldn't exist.
Yep. Pick cells with only one candidate remaining. Remove cells when constrained to a group of n cells. Stacks. That maybe I'm not comfortable with yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Sudoku board generator. Sudoku board. Sudoku constraints or something. What is that? Huh.
It's just a data class.
Yeah, with some weird. Oh yeah, discriminator description. Huh. That something about this isn't right yet. Try to find number that can only appear in one place. Try to find pairs of digits. Like those are the metaphors. Like this, our classes now are speaking in the domain that we're in, right? Whereas before, our code was just program, which is the opposite of domain-driven design, right? Like, but those metaphors are now speaking out in our code, like they're in our code.
I want to move all of the solver steps to a subdirectory.
Oh,
because they are related to each other.
okay.
And I think I can go either way on whether the interface is moved in there as
Interface should be in there.
Type to another interface.
What's the namespace that we're currently in? Sudoku kata.solvers.
There, and then I wanted to say, why is this? Might take a long time moving a file. That's weird.
Do it anyways.
Pick cells, and then this one is going. So Alt-End on the interface is how I get the list of things I implemented. And then this is Control square bracket S. What a terrible key binding. It doesn't even work, so never mind. So did you say the interface should come along?
Interface should come along, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I want to point out that like we're already at retro, but we're still doing code. And I want to encourage this behavior because I know you would discourage it. So, yay. I'll definitely do that commit. Yeah.
Okay. So the reason I wanted to do that is you were saying...
Yeah, absolutely. This is the right metaphor. It's the right thing to do.
And so like, oh, these different words in different subcontexts.
And they weren't grouped nicely, and now they are. All right, so let's go back to retro. Other things that popped up here that hit you. Or is this a good place to call it a day?
I think this is a good place to call it.
All right. Let me grab that screenshot, and thank you for being here with us today.